While the modern world grows louder, a surprising generation is choosing total silence. Across the United States, the United Kingdom, and beyond, record numbers of young Catholics are filling pews. Not at contemporary guitar-led services, but at a centuries-old Latin liturgy many of their own parents never attended. This isn't a fringe curiosity anymore. It's a measurable trend. Start with the basics. Harvard's Cooperative election study found Catholic identification among young American adults rising from 15% in 2022 to 21% in 2023. In the United Kingdom, a 2025 Bible Society report found Catholics now outnumber Anglicans 2-1 among Gen Z. And in parishes offering the traditional Latin Mass specifically, American communities saw attendance jump an estimated 71% between 2019 and 2021. This isn't the demographic religion reporters expected to be walking back through church doors. It's walking toward Latin, incense, and silence. So what are we actually talking about? The traditional Latin Mass, also called the Tridentine Mass, is the form of the Roman Rite celebrated almost universally before Vatican II. Its core structure draws on texts and gestures reaching back well over 1,000 years, though it was formally codified after the Council of Trent in the 1500s. After Vatican II, the Church introduced a reformed liturgy in the vernacular, what most Catholics simply know as the Mass today. The older form never disappeared, but its use has been a live question. Expanded by Pope Benedict in 2007, then restricted in 2021 by Pope Francis, under Pope Leo XIV reporting into 2026 points to a notably more open posture on granting exceptions. Ask the people in the pews and a pattern emerges. This generation grew up saturated, notifications, feeds, a culture that rewards constant reaction. What the Latin Mass offers is the opposite, long stretches of silence. A priest who, for much of the liturgy, faces the same direction as the congregation, toward the altar. One young Catholic writer called it a prolonged courtship of the soul, a phrase that sounds strange to a generation raised on convenience, yet it is exactly what they seek. There's a second thread here, belonging. Researchers point to an unusual hunger, not for novelty, but for permanence. A liturgy unchanged for centuries offers a physical link to the past. For some converts and reverts, that continuity functions less like a statement and more like a family tree they can kneel inside. Gen Z is now the most religiously engaged age group. They are more likely than any other generation to attend Mass weekly, go to confession, and show up to parish life beyond Sunday. This is translated into tight, growing parishes. Whatever comes next in Rome's conversation, the deeper question isn't about the missal on the altar. It's about what a generation raised on infinite content found in silence. Look into the fuller history yourself. Follow for more and tell us in the comments. Have you ever been to a traditional Latin Mass?